in it with the gang slang. You ain't
gang, they ain't got to use that word. I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
You know why I'm not speechless?
Why?
Because I'm an island. What is happening?
I don't know and ain't trying to understand it.
Damn it.
What's understood don't need to be explained.
For a while, the Island Boys were impossible to avoid. No matter where you looked, they were there, taking over feeds, pulling in hundreds of millions of views, and racking up over 2 billion plays on TikTok alone. It didn't build up slowly either. It hit all at once, like they took over the internet overnight. But that kind of attention doesn't hold up forever. The moment people started looking a little closer, the image they built began to slip. And once that shift started, it didn't level out. It kept getting worse. What followed wasn't one big moment, but a series of smaller ones that kept stacking up. Each situation added pressure, and over time, it became harder to control how things were being seen. Even back then, some people were already calling where this might go, and looking back, they weren't wrong. Not long after, the difference became clear. The same attention that pushed them up started turning on them. It didn't disappear, it changed direction, and once it did, it moved fast. It reached a point nobody really expected. Seeing one of them end up out on the streets wasn't part of the story people imagined at the start, and it didn't happen quietly either. It played out in public, step by step. Looking back now, it's hard to ignore how much their own decisions played into it. Nothing collapsed overnight, but every move added weight. And eventually, it caught up. And in the end, it brought them right back to where they started. Frank and Alex Vengas didn't come from a clean background. Even before the attention, there were already problems, legal issues, theft, and situations involving drugs. That wasn't new. It was already part of the story. It got serious enough that their own mother kicked them out when they were just 18. That was their reality before any spotlight, before anything went viral. And even then, the focus was the same. They were chasing attention however they could, building an image, getting tattoos, pushing music, doing whatever might get people to notice them.
How much did you spend on all your tattoos? I spent around 30K, and I'm only 20. I'm turning 21 on July 16th, so I got tatted pretty fast, man.
They put everything into that look, hoping it would turn into something bigger. For a long time, nothing really landed. They were posting, trying different angles, but it wasn't sticking. Then out of nowhere, one clip flipped everything. The same video people kept replaying again and again. It spread fast, pulling attention from everywhere, but most of it wasn't support. People were laughing, and that gap showed up immediately. That disconnect became impossible to ignore the moment they stepped outside of the internet and into real performances. At Club Live in Miami, there was no editing, no control, no second takes, just a crowd reacting in real time. And the reaction was clear. They got booed off stage. No hesitation. The crowd wasn't buying it at all. And that moment said more than any comment section ever could.
I'ma keep it like it's always one. Said I'm going better keep that going. I'ma do it while I'm staring at the sun. I've been really at the pool gazing. And the pool where I'm staying. I'll pull it like a super saiyan. Trying to be the greatest. Trying to be his.
It didn't just look bad. It exposed the whole situation. They had one short track, barely 30 seconds, and still couldn't perform it clean. At the same time, the backlash online kept getting louder, but somehow they didn't adjust. In interviews, they talked like everything was only going up, like the money would keep coming, like millions were locked in. No doubt, no second thoughts. They believed the moment wasn't going anywhere.
How much money did y'all have at that time? Were y'all broke at that time?
$10,000.
I ain't have much. I was
hustling.
I was 8 or 10 bands.
So the video goes viral. Like, when do you realize your life changes after that?
Bro, we were making $40,000 a day. More than that. I'm not even playing with you.
Yeah.
60.
We was
60.
looking at the thing. It says
The top of it said you got $60,000 to do.
to make.
Then the next day we would do that. The next day another 60,000. We're like, man, what the f is this?
Yeah.
We didn't believe it.
So they leaned into it, pushed it further, treated that viral clip like it was something permanent, like it would carry them on its own. But that mindset backfired. While they were celebrating, everyone else had already figured it out. The attention wasn't respect, it was entertainment. They weren't being taken seriously, they were the joke. And that kind of attention doesn't last. It disappears quickly. Even when money was coming in, they misread what it actually meant. People weren't supporting the music, they were showing up to watch. By the time that reality started catching up, things were already slipping. And once the attention slowed down, the moves changed with it. They started chasing anything that could bring money, no matter how it looked. Attention became the priority over everything. Instead of building something stable, they leaned fully into the spectacle. More drama, more staged moments, anything to keep people watching.
I'm a targeted individual. You don't like it because you know I'm targeted.
Red,
you want to be just like me.
Wait.
Follow the leader.
Red, I made
Follow
Island
the
Boys.
leader.
I made Island Boys.
I'm the one that told you let's get in the Airbnb, and I'm the one that made the actual bars.
Okay.
You're a hater. You see, you talk.
Then came other plays like Cameo. But even that didn't hold. They started arguing with fans over reviews, turning small problems into bigger ones. And the numbers reflect it. What once sold for $135 dropped to $60. That's not a dip, that's a drop. Interest didn't fade, it fell off.
You guys are not feeling there, man, a promotion at work because you aren't qualified? Sucks for you. It sucks for you. You're not qualified. You're not good enough.
The real issue is they probably needed that money more than it looked. Because when it was coming in, it didn't stay. The way they handled it, it felt like it showed up and disappeared just as fast. No one knows the exact numbers, but when financial expert Graham Stephan took a closer look, especially at the jewelry, the estimates were heavy. A lot of money went straight into chains and flashy pieces, without hesitation. And it wasn't just spending, it showed how they were thinking. Like the momentum wouldn't slow down, like nothing could touch them.
All right, so far what I could tell in terms of their resale value of their jewelry, they're wearing $94,000 worth of jewelry. That would be the resale value. And then let's assume that they have another $50,000 worth of other stuff that they're just not including in this. So let's just say they have about $150,000 worth of collectible assets for each of them. So that's how much they have in jewelry, approximately, unless they're just not showing off what else they have.
That kind of confidence ended up costing them, especially when they turned down a deal from Kodak Black's Sniper Gang label. That wasn't just an offer, it was guaranteed money, something stable they could have locked in early. Instead of choosing stability, they doubled down on the image. Expensive homes, Bentleys, stacks of cash. It became the focus. But over time, it stopped looking impressive and started feeling forced. Even people who once supported them began pulling back.
He said he wanted to sign me like 10 times. Like I'm a John Hancock this. He want him to like do weird things, like not weird things, but cut his hair. He got mad at me or something like that or something because he stopped like having the same type of energy right when he told me, I want you to cut your wigs off because I'm gonna cut my wigs.
The shift was obvious, and it didn't help them. What made it worse is they didn't want to hear anything from anyone. Advice wasn't taken seriously. They moved like they already had everything figured out, and that mindset showed clearly during their appearance on the Impulsive podcast. Toward the end, George Janko suggested that jewelry could hold value long-term, but instead of hearing him out, they took it as disrespect. The energy changed instantly. The conversation got tense, and they walked off.
So I wanted to ask you the question, like, do you guys regret walking off that podcast?
No, I wouldn't regret it. I went probably 5 times more viral than in that podcast than I probably would have if I just would have had like a regular sit down and talk.
Each situation chipped away at moments like that didn't build respect. They just added more attention. After that, the attention didn't slow down, but it wasn't the kind they needed. Each situation chipped away at what credibility they had left. Piece by piece, it started falling apart.
You're not a million. I'm way more known. You're not way more known than me, nothing. You a peanut, your jewelry fake, you a pussy, and I was slapping. Stop trying to
I ain't gonna argue with you.
I'm a real gangster. You was a hoe.
Yeah?
Yes.
That visit to Johnny Dang's spot said a lot. The moment things got serious, that tough image didn't hold. It dropped immediately. No delay, no recovery. And in that moment, people saw right through it. And somehow, even that wasn't the lowest point. Things kept going in the same direction, until they crossed another line. On July 5th, 2023, they launched an OnlyFans, offering exclusive content to their core audience. At first, it looked like just another money move, but it didn't take long for the reaction to turn. People weren't just surprised, they were uncomfortable. And that shift hit fast. They started leaning into more questionable themes to keep the money coming in, and the reaction was immediate. People didn't just scroll past it, they pushed back, hard. Even audiences that usually tolerate extreme content weren't on board this time. It crossed a line, and there was no ignoring it. Despite that, they tried to justify it by saying the money was too tempting.
100% thought they were gonna kiss at the end. So y'all think that it's cool to think about boys kissing each other? And twins too at it? Y'all into the incest and stuff? Look, we came from the same womb, but we don't think like that. You feel me? Yeah, not like that at all. Stop thinking like that. It's weird. Then don't worry about that stuff.
But that didn't help. It made it worse. It didn't sound honest. It sounded like they were choosing it. At that point, whatever credibility they had left was already fading. That move didn't just damage their image, it finished it.
We started off by just showing us like with their underwear on Twitter. And they're like, people were like, it was almost like they're like, you guys won't kiss. And I thought about it like for a couple of days and I'm like, wait, that'd be a good idea. Like something to talk about because people really don't like us. So like, hey, look, we got something on them. They kissed each other. So we kind of knew it would go viral.
And right as their reputation hit that low point, their finances started dropping with it. Income slowed down and the pressure started building. Reports began surfacing about debt stacking up, including money owed to their own manager.
They did poker dirty.
Crazy, yeah.
They did you dirty? How?
Yeah, they owe me about like $150,000.
From what? Your percentage of the cameo money?
Yeah.
Is that the only money they're bringing in?
Mostly, maybe a little bit on TikTok, but I mean, it's pretty much run dry at this point.
Right. How many fucking cameos are they doing?
When I was with them, they was coming in hot.
They were viral as fuck,
They was
yeah.
going like 2-3 hours a night straight cameos, but like that's literally
What a
their
life.
only source of income.
Yeah, because that doesn't feel like it's gonna last
They
forever.
pretty much they're canceled everywhere. Like they can't really go outside like that. There's a bunch of lawsuits on them now too.
For
Like,
real?
Everyone's coming after them. This
Why?
guy from Chicago
You're suing them too.
bought a contract or something. Like they don't want to go to court. I got them like a really, really good attorney that's charging them like $1,200 an hour, and he's raping them. Like,
well, also too, like, did they like cut their hair because they had lice?
nah, I think that was cat.
Okay. Well, hey, man.
Yeah.
Also, too, though.
I think that was cat. I think they were just trying to go re-viral, the same thing they did with the Island Girls thing, but it flopped
Yeah.
completely.
Wow.
Right now, there's no more money coming in.
And once something like that becomes public, it's not small. It means things are already out of control. Everything started falling apart at once, not step by step, not gradually, all at the same time. The fame, the money, the image. It didn't hold. And on top of that, their own actions kept exposing more of it. Every appearance, every moment, it showed a little more. Whether they addressed it or not, people could see what was happening. Then came their appearances on Jack Doherty's streams, and instead of helping, it added to it.
All right, Island boys, what are we about to do?
We're about to feed the homeless right now. Yes, sir. Come on, let's get it.
Look, they're getting fed right now.
They weren't just getting criticized, they were getting mocked, openly. Even Jack hinted that their financial situation wasn't good, and those moments stuck. As things kept slipping, their behavior got more reckless.
Look at the back of this crib. I don't know, you can't afford it?
I can't afford it.
Come here, Island boy.
I can't afford this. I was gonna live in this house with you, and I was gonna put stupid money up for this house.
Can you afford 70 bands a month now?
What are you talking about, bro? I get money. Why are you talking about me?
I was just asking. If you ever want to, stay, we can give you a closet.
What started as attention turned into something harder to manage, and it showed. It eventually led to a messy situation involving a physical altercation and accusations connected to his girlfriend.
At least if I come out with a tape, at least I could actually, like, I don't know, flex tape better than you.
Yeah, but too bad it's with your brother. How can you flex it if it's with your brother? Your mom films the videos of you guys kissing. You probably make your mom go, Mom, can you hold this, please? I'll pay your rent.
Don't talk about my mom now.
Oh my God, bro.
Don't go there.
But don't take everything so serious. If you said that,
I've been chilling.
It's all jokes. Like,
fucking ugly. You're just like the CEO of that company that you promote.
you guys worked for me at a point.
Yo, I'm right next to you.
Stop. Hey.
Wanna go?
Actually, dead ass.
What's up? Red, it's not worth it.
Fucking try, dumbass. Nice try. There's a girl in the car, you fucking dumbass. Yo, there's a girl. You're kicking her.
And that only pushed them deeper into negative attention. By this point, their identity had completely shifted. They weren't seen as artists anymore. They were just controversial internet figures, and in a space already full of that, they didn't stand out. They blended in. With no clear direction left, they started taking whatever opportunities they could get. It didn't look like a career anymore. It looked like they were trying to stay afloat. This whole run was never built to last. And now, a few years after Island Boy blew up, they've turned into a punchline online. Even people close to them started speaking out. At one point, a girlfriend's father showed disapproval, and instead of staying private, It all played out publicly.
Kayla, how do your parents feel that you're with me?
I don't know because I don't get to talk to them.
Why don't they talk to you?
My dad hasn't talked to me since I got the neck tattoo.
He called me a loser. Hey, by the way, if the dad's watching this, no. Do I make a lot of money?
I talk to my mom here and there, but our relationship is always like
Do you like your dad or mom better?
my dad.
All right, dad, step up, bro.
At this stage, it's not about music anymore. It's just controversy. Their name isn't tied to music anymore. It's tied to drama. And the way things have been going, it doesn't feel like anything has really changed. Same patterns, same decisions, leading to the same problems. Things crossed into a different level when, during a pregnancy, one of them made comments about leaving his girlfriend if she didn't lose weight afterward. Moments like that don't just pass, they stick. And they change how people see everything else. What stands out even more is how constant the social media presence is. Even during serious situations, it doesn't seem to stop. At one point, while his newborn was in the NICU, he was still posting. And that alone says more than anything else. As for his brother, things don't look any more stable. If anything, they look worse. Not long ago, he narrowly avoided jail over driving-related issues, which only added more concern around what's going on.
Yeah, traffic citation. You must have got a ticket and not paid it, man.
What?
It says December.
Like this December?
I think so. I think it was this year, last year.
Since then, more problems have been reported. There are claims that he's been struggling financially, even falling behind on car payments.
It's not even his fault, it's his brother's fault because his brother hasn't paid his car in 4 months, and we could show you guys the voicemails of the car people calling him every single day saying, where is a payment? And it's under his name. We can't figure out if it's the cosign or the main one, but Alex's name is a part of it and he has not paid it. And it's affecting him now, which is affecting us and our family because we had some issues trying to get a house.
And that kind of pressure doesn't stay contained. It starts affecting everything around it. There are also reports pointing to personal struggles, including possible substance issues. Not everything is confirmed, but the pattern itself is hard to ignore.
Someone said that your brother has a problem and you need to help him. I already talked about this earlier. I said he's got to be willing to want to help himself. I already tried to help him, remember? I marshman-acted him.
And he called last night.
And that wasn't cheap.
When he called his mom last night, it was out of genuine concern and like hurt and wanting to help. And then like everyone just, this is what happened today from him doing.
And whether every detail is true or not, one thing stands out. The situation isn't under control. And at a time where they would need to support each other the most, that's not what's happening. Instead, there's distance. At one point, he even said the only way forward for his brother is if he completely changes his life. That doesn't sound like support, it sounds like separation. And while all of that is happening, the chaos hasn't slowed down. They've been going back and forth online, throwing serious accusations at each other. At one point, Kodiyakredd claimed his brother's partner was using substances during pregnancy, something that caught a lot of people off guard.
She did not do one substance while she was pregnant. And our baby's not a NICU because of any substance.
I even told them that
he's not with y'all.
It was something with nicotine that would affect his lungs, that would affect his internal. He's having a blockage here. He's probably going to have to get a surgery right here.
I said that his baby looks like a mannequin doll, and you know what he says to me back? Where's your baby? Why aren't you holding your baby? Your baby's in the NICU? Like almost like taunting and laughing at me about it.
At the same time, he denies everything about his own situation. He says he's sober, not homeless, and doing fine.
See, I've been sober from December 6th, says Frankie on it, with the IE, all the way to the 29th. So I've been sober for 23 days. You could congratulate me because that's a mental illness, what I was going through, because I was doing it a lot every day, or you could just hate on.
He also claims money isn't a problem, posting videos showing a house and a Lamborghini. But at the same time, there are reports saying he can't even drive it anymore. And that contrast doesn't clear anything up.
Bro is driving without a license. Bro, I'm so pee with it. I got my girl driving, dog. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
But despite these claims,
it makes it harder to believe what's real. And then there's the part that doesn't line up. While saying everything is fine financially, he's still asking fans for housewarming gifts.
We have the link in the bio, so y'all tap in. The link's gonna be in the bio for housewarming gifts to send us anything on our wish list on Amazon, and we're gonna give everybody a shout out on video and live.
And that clashes with the image he's trying to present. Because of how they acted during their rise, the reaction now isn't surprising. Sympathy is almost gone. For a lot of people, This outcome feels predictable. They built their image on flexing and mocking others, and now that same energy has turned back on them. People are calling it karma. After everything they showed, this is how it ends up, and no one is rushing to defend them. What makes it more confusing is their relationship. Despite all the back and forth, they were still posting together as recently as December 2024. And that raises a real question. How much of this is real? And how much of it is just another way to stay relevant? Because one pattern keeps repeating. They're willing to go far to hold attention, no matter how messy it gets, and even now, they're still trying to bring that attention back. Kodiyakredd is teasing new music and bringing back the old look, trying to recreate that same viral moment. While Fly is pushing content on TikTok, trying to build traction again. But now the situation is different. Once people lose interest or lose respect, it doesn't just come back. And that's the part they're running into now. Looking at everything, it's hard not to think about how they handled their peak. Because they didn't just lose the moment, they pushed it too far. They stretched it until there was nothing left. And once it reaches that point, there's no easy reset. So what do you think? Was this always going to happen? Or did they ruin their own run? Drop your thoughts below. I want to see where people stand on this. And if you've been following stories like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
I'm just island boy. I'm just island boy. I'ma get key white going. You're gonna keep that gun. I'll be just staring at the sun. I'm just out fool gazing.